There we go. So hi guys, thank you for joining me in this webinar. I hope that you're going to learn how Matrix can support you with your CAN bus units and your CAN bus curriculum. It's going to work that I've put you all on mute. If you would like to have any questions as we go, please just click on mute on yourself and ask away. You know, I would like it to be almost a two-way dialogue. I've got a short presentation. I'm going to introduce the workbook and curriculum for our CAN bus kit, and I will also introduce the actual kit itself. Like I say, there is a chat section on the right. Post any questions in there. Yeah, let's hope you learn a few bits. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. Give me just a moment. I am getting used to the technology. For those that don't know me, my job historically at Matrix was basically to visit customers and colleges and universities throughout the UK. Now, obviously, that's changed quite a bit recently. So I am doing more and more things online. So bear with me because I'm not totally used to the software that we're using. I'm getting more used to it by the day, though. 1 second. I hope you can all hear me. 1 sec. That's why. So what we're going to do today, first of all, I'm going to introduce some areas that we Matrix help in education. And then I'm going to tell you a bit about some of the people in the automotive industry that we currently support with CAN bus and various things. I'm going to quickly introduce our automotive range. I will introduce the other side of what we do, which is curriculum workbooks, which are actually free. I will then discuss how our CAN bus kit will help you with your delivery, what the learning outcomes are for the kit, and how you would actually go about using the kit. And I'll then have a brief introduction of the kit itself on camera, almost like a demonstration. And after that, I will open up and allow any questions that you may have. Okay, so first of all, I'm sure the most of you know, particularly because you're on this particular webinar, that we allow and help colleges and universities with automotive and automotive departments. However, as you can see here, that's not all we do. We do things for science and physics. We do bits for programming in computer science. We have quite a detailed range at level 5 and higher for optics and photonics. We have an awful lot for electrical and electronic engineering. Mechanical engineering, we've got some principles of mechanical kits. We also go as far as robotics and automation, mechatronics, pneumatics. We've got 2 robots. One of them's a robot arm. Manufacturing engineering is another area of what we're growing into all the time. We've got a CNC lathe milling machine and also a 4-axis milling machine. We've got an aviation range of kits and also domestic electrical and electrical installation set. So as you can see on this slide, we really do help some of the apprentices of the biggest companies in the world for automotive, all over the globe. We've been dealing with for the likes of Jaguar Land Rover for almost 10 years, BMW, Iveco, Peugeot, Mercedes-Benz, Ford, to name a few, and that's growing all the time. You know, all of the automotive giants they do quite, most of them do quite a lot with Matrix and with our Loctronic range. Give me a sec, I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, that's fine. So here is a brief understanding of what we do for automotives at level 1 to 3. I will break it down in a bit more detail in 20-30 seconds. Our kits are actually written around the IMI and City and Guilds courses, although throughout the world we have, you know, we have a load of different governing bodies and colleges that work under different governing bodies to similar success. So whilst it is written to IMI and City and Guilds, we have customers and colleges that use our kits to various other governing bodies. At level 1, we have one kit. This is called Electricity, Magnetism and Materials. It's our most basic automotive range, and it assumes no prior knowledge of electrics or electronics. It's used for simple things like heat and magnetism, series and parallel, relays and electromagnets, current flow, simple circuits, that sort of thing. At level 2, Matrix offers three level 2 kits. The first one is called AC Principles for Automotive Technicians. This kit provides an introduction to AC electrical principles that underpin many automotive units. Within the AC Principles kit, this covers batteries and their properties, AC signal fundamentals, DC equivalent peak and RMS values, reactance, inductance and suppression, diode and Zener diodes, half and full wave rectifiers. So that's the AC Principles kit. Another kit at level 2 is an introduction to motors, generators and hybrid. This kit looks at magnetic field, field strength, electromagnets, the force of a conductor in a magnetic field, DC motor principles, Fleming's left-hand rules covered. What else? AC generator principles, transformers, transformer construction and operation. That's the kind of thing in Introduction to Motors, Generators and Hybrid kit. The last kit at level 2 that we have is an Introduction to Digital Electronics. This kit covers the basics of digital electronics, a core topic in modern automotive electrical technology. It focuses on the use of logic functions and shows how these can be delivered through conventional discrete gates. The digital electronics kit covers things like analog and digital signals, binary and hexadecimal number systems, a simple logic probe. It covers things like and, or, not, NAND and NOR gates, NAND gates, and circuits. We also do a kit that covers all three of these kits. So it's a combined level 2 kit that has the AC Principles kit, the Introduction to Motors, Generators and Hybrid kit, and the Introduction to Digital Electronics kit, all rolled into one combined level 2 kit. At level 3, again, we have 3 kits. The first one, and the one that we're going to discuss today, is the CAN bus Systems and Operations kit, which we do also see used regularly at level 4. But another kit at level 3 is the Sensors and Control in Automotive Applications kit. This kit provides, it basically introduces the role of the ECU in automotive. It includes things like DC motors and speed control, stepper motors, how the ECU reads things like temperature sensors and light sensors, potential dividers and their use, the use of relays, ECU action and function, automotive control systems. This is the kind of thing that's in that sense and control kit, sensors and motor faults as well. The last kit that I'm going to discuss now at level 3 is our hybrid vehicle demonstration system. Okay, you can see that there in the middle of this this slide. It is based on a Toyota Prius, and the system demonstrates the energy pathways in hybrid systems. It shows the energy management system making decisions on energy use based on the state of charge of the vehicle battery. And the kit goes on to describe things like power modes in a series parallel vehicle, hybrid vehicle, regen braking and the advantages of regen braking, battery voltage, internal resistance, battery capacity and the state of charge. And it also goes on to teach the role of the ECU in controlling the changes between power modes. All right, so that's level 3. Just before I continue to start talking about the CAN bus, guys, if you do have any questions as we go in, please unmute yourself and ask away. It does pop up if someone posts in the chat section, and until now there hasn't been any. But again, that's something, as we're going, please feel free to chip in and comment or ask questions at any time. So the next stage is the curriculum. One thing I haven't explained so far is that every kit that we do comes with complete curriculum. So these are curriculum workbooks. I'm just going to click this and it's going to take me to our learning section. I hope you can all see that. Now here you have you can change the subject to automotive, and here are all our automotive booklets. So for example, the one we're obviously looking at today, the CAN bus one, I'm going to click on that, view course, and here for free on our website you have here the content. Oh, I've got a question, 1 second. The screen isn't visible. Okay, thank you. Give me a second. I hope that's better now, guys. So this is the workbook. You can find these on our website. Give me a moment. Basically what I've done is I've gone to our website, which is just matrixtsl.com. And then I have clicked on the support section, Learning Center. And once you've clicked on the Learning Center, it pulls up this page here. You can then, you can click on subjects and go to automotive. And here are all of our automotive lesson plans and teacher's notes and student handouts. For this one, obviously, we will be looking at the CAN bus. So I click on view course and it pulls open the CAN bus. This is a PDF, so you can print it out. You can put it on your smart board. You can, I can even send this editable so that you can edit certain words to your liking. You can put your own college or training provider's brand on the lesson plans. If I scroll down now, you can see the contents here. An introduction to CAN bus, what it is, that sort of thing. Towards the back is where you'll find the teacher's handout. So instructors, this is the instructor guide. This is the codes used for when you're doing the fault diagnosis of the CAN bus. Here you've got each lesson. So this gives you an introduction to worksheet 7, how long we would recommend you would teach that particular class for. And then scrolling through, it's got schemes of work. It discusses topics that students will typically find difficult. And then scrolling through to the front where you would give this to the student. This particular worksheet's about the startup routine. It's written by practicing automotive lecturer. So it's done in a way that is nice and intuitive for the students with nice drawings and pictures and that sort of thing. And they're completely free. So you can go onto our website even now and download these as a PDF. So yeah, just a heads up. Now I'm going to go back to the, I hope you could see that. I'm going to share my screen again and go to the PowerPoint presentation. 1 second. So that's the curriculum. Like I say, it's completely free. It saves a lot of time for your lecturers. And it's a really useful thing because it doesn't necessarily remove the teacher at all, but it really does give them an idea on let's do half an hour on CAN bus, let's do an hour on CAN bus, and it gets you started and the ball rolling. Okay, so now on to the actual CAN bus, which I guess is why you're all here. So our CAN bus system, this kit allows a fully functioning CAN bus system to be put together by the students. It mimics vehicle operation to be set up using 5 automotive ECUs or nodes. The students set up a fully functioning CAN bus system. They can then insert faults. They can see and use the scan tool to understand false diagnosis procedures and practice. So you can see on the picture on the right hand side, they're the 5 nodes. It comes with quite a lot of electronics as well. Learning objectives to do with the CAN bus, okay? So the main learning objectives when using the CAN bus kit are learning about fault diagnosis in a CAN system, how the ECU works and how it acts and functions, wiring a CAN bus system. So the students will actually put together the CAN bus system, automotive control systems, faults in sensors and actuators, and fault diagnosis. So here, this is one of our customers with some of his technical members of staff. These might work in a workshop repairing cars, or they may be in a college, for example. These guys obviously aren't in a college, but what you've got is you've got your 5 nodes, and each node might have been made individually by 2 or 3 students, and then you come together as a class and insert the high and low wires from node to node. So then it's actually made into a CAN bus, and then there's a startup routine that the students must look through. There is pinging of messages between each node, and in the instruction workbooks, the students will follow the lesson plans to start diagnosing faults. It comes with a CAN analyzer that you plug into a laptop, which mimics fault codes as you would see on a manufacturer's fault diagnosis machine. So it is very much so a real life CAN bus kit in an educational way, and a much easier way of understanding CAN bus than actually on a car. Many of our customers throughout the UK and the world actually use this before they get on a car. So they would use maybe an hour to 10 hours working on our electronics kit, learning about CAN bus before the teacher goes, okay, now you're ready, let's work on an actual car and learn about CAN bus on the car. So some colleges use it solely using our kit. Some colleges and training providers would use it as an intermediary step before actually learning about CAN bus on the car. Next slide. Okay, so here's a diagram of the CAN system. So right at the front, you've got the scan admin node. This also does the startup routine and fuse. Then you've got the front node. Okay, so that's got the light, the front lights, the headlights, the indicators at the front. It's got the windscreen wipers and the horn attached to the front node. On the instrument panel, you have got the button that will press the horn. So the actual where you might find that on the steering wheel. You've got the button that would turn on your windscreen wipers and the speed, which selects the windscreen wiper speed. You've then got a bunch of other switches. So you've got on there, you've got maybe your indicators right and left. You've got your headlights, you've got your reverse lights, and you have got your bright lights. I've forgotten the word for them now. Your full beams, that's the one. I had a moment then. And then your powertrain node, which is things like you've got your fuel sensor on there, so you can change the fuel sensor. You have got your oil pressure sensor, so you can actually change that and it will flash up as a fault if there is something wrong with the pressure of your oil or your fuel. So if your fuel is low, it will pop up on your instrument panel and say, look, there's a fuel low here, and that sort of thing. On your rear, you have got you've got all your lights, so your indicators again, your reverse lights, and that sort of thing. 1 second. I'm just going to check that there's no more messages. Like I said earlier, guys, please feel free to ask any questions as we go. So after, I am going to show you the actual cam kit in just a moment, but we also have some new kits on the horizon. These kits are probably going to be released in around January. We do have prices and we have beta workbook for these already. We've got a kit for automotive electricity at level 1 or 2, automotive fault finding, automotive motors, generators and charging systems, automotive ECU, architecture and logic, oscilloscope use in automotive, and high voltage battery circuits. Okay, so I'm going to now swap to the camera. Guys, if you do want to unmute yourself at any point, that's absolutely fine with me. Give me a moment. So here you can see on the main camera, you can see the CAN system. This is it's in a big travel box. This isn't how it's provided. It's provided in the boxes that you may call Gratnell's boxes. You may know about these boxes, but it's for ease of storage. You can put them away when you're done, or you know, many of the labs that we see don't have set dedicated labs, so it's quite important that they can store things at the end of each class. And you know, the CAN system fits into, I think, 4 or 5 of these boxes that are easily portable, so you can even use them in classrooms as opposed to just your automotive workshop. Okay, so I'm going to change cameras now to show you in a bit more detail. Give me just a second. Okay, guys, so I'm getting used to the technology quite, as you can see. Here is a picture, is one of the nodes. That's the admin node, and that's plugged into the fuse box there. So here's the ignition. So if I click that, it will basically start the car. I have already done that. Next to that, you've got the front of the vehicle. So here are your headlights, and then your headlights, your full beams, and your indicators. And that, I'm not totally sure what that is. That there's the wiper. You can see here the wipers. You've got low fuel there and fault that would be on your instrument panel. For example, if I click the lights here, message gets sent down to the node all along the CAN bus and then replicates on the front of the car. So it's probably a bit bright, but that light, those 2 lights there are on for the headlights. Moving on now, I'm going to turn the lights off. I've turned on the right indicator. You can see that's flashing there at the back and front. You can also hear that indicator there as well. The horn here, you can see that on the node there. The light flashes as I hit the horn. So the messages are being sent from the instrument panel down to the relevant nodes, and then that message is sent on in high and low CAN to all of the nodes, but only the nodes that it's relevant to will actually react to that message. But all of the nodes are actually receiving that message. Okay, so I'm going to go to the back now. Here is the windscreen wipers. I can turn that. And then that wiper there will now start to turn, as I'm sure you can see, or if not hear. Turn that off. And then you've got the powertrain. So these 2 potentiometers here replicate fuel sensor, and one of them is the engine oil the oil pressure. So if I turn one of those, the fault light will show. If I turn the other, so that one there is the oil pressure. As you can see, the fault has come up. It would be up to the students to then figure out what the fault is. At the back there, you've got your fuel sensor as well. Okay, so this here is the CAN analyzer, which plugs into the high and low CAN. Here, can you see that? We have here the low CAN in yellow and the high CAN in red. All of the ECUs have a high and low CAN. So there's two wires that go from each node to connect them all in high and low CAN. You then get the CAN analyzer, plug it in, hook it up to your laptop, and then when there are faults and if things are happening, so for example, if a light's been turned on at the instrument panel, a code will be sent to the CAN analyzer software, and it will basically have a code for that particular light work, being in use at that particular moment. If there are faults, the fault codes will come up, and it's up to the students to figure out what that fault is. So there's a whole host of worksheets on fault finding, system pinging, messages being sent from one node to another, and that sort of thing. Okay, now I'm going to turn my camera onto myself, and it's time to ask any questions if you have any. Okay, guys, I'm wondering if there is any questions that you might want to ask. That is kind of the end of the demonstration and presentation. I will send everybody the slides and also the recording of this webinar. But is there any immediate questions?
Yeah, one question is it's a single speed CAN. There's no gateway between another CAN network. It's just a single Class C.
I believe that you can actually change the CAN speed. Give me just a moment. Actually, I think there is. I think it's 100. Is it 120? Sound about right? I will. I don't know who asked that question, but I will make sure I get you the answer to that question. So the question is, what is the speed of the CAN, and can it be changed? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And who was asking that question? Sorry.
Brian Nixon from CIT. Cork,
okay.
Ireland.
Thank you for the question, Brian. I've not been asked that question before, so I will learn something myself as well. I've had a question that's come in privately. Can you attach an automotive scope, such as a picoscope? Yeah, the answer to that question is absolutely yes. All of the there are certain points throughout the CAN bus where it's got a 4 millimeter input, where you can just plug in your normal multimeters, your normal picoscopes, and you can see the sine waves and use your normal instrumentation throughout the CAN bus to analyze the current and that sort of thing. So yeah, absolutely no problem. Any more questions, guys? Either put them in the chat or send me a question privately, or you can unmute yourself.
How many do you think those units you'd normally need if you had a sort of a group of 10 to 12 students in a class?
Okay, yeah, good question. So with most of our electronics kits, we would need where it's a box and it's not in particular this CAN bus kit, you would need one kit between two students. Now with the CAN bus, it's a bit different. Obviously, at the minute there are a few restrictions, but we usually say one kit for a class of 12.
Right. Okay. What's the kit costs?
I will, in terms of price, because I have quite a lot of people on this kit that are our resellers and sell to different countries. Obviously, we're the manufacturers. I'm not going to say prices because obviously this video is going to get published on YouTube as well. Okay. But if you do want pricing, I will send a recording of this webinar after. If you could send me an email reply saying, could I have some prices? I will send you a price, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've had a question asking about technical backup support. Okay, so that's a good question. Now, the lesson plans, which I will send everybody, are done in a manner that we don't necessarily say it would need sort of training or anything like that. We have in the past offered training where one of our engineers would go to a college and deliver a training. At the minute, that's a bit more difficult with everything that's going on in the world. However, we can offer support via the phones at the minute, perhaps, or if somebody wants to purchase the kit and would like maybe an hour to 2 hours going through the kit over something like this, a webinar with myself or a colleague, maybe someone a bit more technical than myself, then again, that isn't a problem. It's something that we can arrange. So in terms of technical backup support, that shouldn't be an issue. Any more questions, guys? Let me just go through the chat, see if I've missed anything. I haven't missed anything on the chat. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds to a minute, guys. If anybody does have any more pressing questions, if there are any questions that could spring to your mind after the webinar, then, you know, please feel free to just send me a quick email or give me a ring, no problem. Any question, guys? Now's an opportune moment. Everybody can hear you and get the answer as well. I hope you've all found it useful. I know there's been a lot of people that have signed up to the webinar that I haven't spoken to in person. I hope you've figured out basically what Matrix can offer you, particularly with CAN bus. It's something that we do particularly strongly. The automotive industry really do use Matrix to a great level when we're upskilling their staff, and so do colleges throughout the UK and world. I mean, CAN bus is a really tough topic to teach at the best of times. So CAN bus, this CAN bus kit, it goes a long way to teach exactly how you could, replicate a CAN bus.
Just a quickie, I've got a quick question.
No problem.
I was looking at the hybrid there on the one you just demonstrated.
Okay.
Have you got similar units that just do the hybrid?
Yes, we do indeed. We do actually have a hybrid kit that basically teaches the principles of hybrid. So state of charge of battery, the role of an ECU in a hybrid car that basically dictates what's driving the car at each point, regenerative braking. You can actually see it over my shoulder there. That is our hybrid unit. Now, I haven't actually plugged that in. It's got a couple of components missing, so I can't show you. Otherwise, I would. But I can easily sort out in the future, in the next few days or weeks, to show you the hybrid if it's something that you think that you would benefit from. But yeah, we do have a kit that's based just on hybrid. Yeah. Yeah,
I was just thinking it's a good idea if you're doing the hybrid training, the level 3 and level 4 on hybrid vehicles. If you can show candidates how it actually works on a unit like that before they start looking into the vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I mean, obviously in hybrid, it's again a lot different to CAN bus. I mean, the voltages we're talking and is obviously drastic. So any intermediate step we find is really useful in automotive. So yeah, I mean, I will. Was that Paul?
Carl. Andrew.
Carl. Okay, let me just write your name. I will send you some information on our hybrid vehicle, and potentially if it's something you're interested in, we could spend 20-30 minutes over the phone or over webinar, and I can show you that. No problem.
Thanks.
No problem. Someone's got their hand up. Do I have to? Paul, perhaps. Paul, feel free to chip in as and when.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Afternoon. As you probably know, I'm at Doncaster College. We've got both of these systems. We've got the CAN bus system, which I've built up myself, which is brilliant, and I've also got the hybrid. The question is it worthwhile? Is it possible to connect these two together? Am I going to get anything out of it?
Yeah, good question. I hope you're doing well, Paul. I didn't realise it was you. Yeah. It's been a long time. Well, it's not been that long since we spoke, but I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm doing really well. I'm getting used to these webinars eventually. Good question, Paul. And to be honest, I've not been asked that question before. I mean, I'm sure there will be aspects that on the actual hybrid kit, there is a section. There is basically a section where you can connect high and low CAN. So you can definitely do it. Whether, we don't have any sort of lesson plans to support that, but as long as, you can be quite flexible in what you're teaching, you can actually connect the hybrid training system into a CAN bus system. Absolutely, yes.
Shall look into that shortly. But great stuff on the equipment we've got from you anyway. I can highly recommend it to anybody listening.
Oh, thank you very much, Paul. I know you've used it to a good level, and you actually had training as well, didn't you? Oh, you have training booked in, don't you?
I've built it all myself, to be honest, and it's fairly easy. Found it easy.
Yeah.
Find you a bit of knowledge in that area. But yeah, very, very good to use. Superb. As you know, backup's been spot on. So I've had no problem with it, to be honest.
Fabulous.
I'm trying to extend it now and try and put some of the kits together.
Yeah, and if you do start using the hybrid and CAN bus together, just give us a shout, Paul, and we can sort of see how we can support you.
I have both kits set up separately at the moment, so in this quiet period, I'll have a look into that one and maybe give you some backup.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Some feedback, should I say, not backup. Some feedback. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
No, thanks, Paul. Nice to speak to you again.
You too.
Has anybody else got any questions? If not, I will. I'll just quickly go over again the new products that we are set to launch. I've been told that the last I've heard is it's going to be roughly around January. Now these kits are ready pretty much. If you are wanting to look at the curriculum lesson plans, we've got beta versions. So we've got a new kit for level 1 and 2, which is about automotive electricity. We've got a new kit coming out for automotive fault finding at level 1 and 2, automotive motors, generators, and charging systems. A new kit for automotive ECU, architecture and logic at level 2 and 3. And then at level 3 and 4, we've got automotive oscilloscope use and high voltage battery circuits. And these kits, again, are going to be around January. But if anybody wants sort of a sneak preview or a chat about the workbooks and lesson plans, I can send you beta versions of those now. That's not a problem. The current kits that we have will obviously remain, particularly the CAN bus. So, don't worry, they will not be, we will not be getting rid of those. They're staple hold and will still be very much part of our portfolio. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds, guys. If anybody does have any questions, again, now is the time. I'm sure that if you haven't got any now, you will in the future. And if that's the case, please feel free to get in touch. I hope you found it useful. And I will send you out the lesson plans, the recording of this webinar, and also the slides. And if anybody does have any questions, like I say, please feel free to get back in touch with me. Let's keep the communication lines open.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Hugh Kelly here. I was just wondering, could you show us where to access them there books again there on the Picoscope and stuff like that there? Where did you go to access them? Absolutely, no problem. How are you? I'm all right, fine. Good. Give me just a moment. So for all of I'll just start from the very beginning. I'll go to our website, which is www.matrixtsl.com. You then, running along the top here, can you see that, Mr. Kelly? Yep. You click on support and you go to Learning Center. Yep. And then you have, these are all the books that we do for all the different ranges. Now, if you're obviously just interested in automotive, you click on subjects and go to automotive. Yep. And then there are all the books that we do. So there's the hybrid one that I've mentioned. Yep. And if you scroll down, here's the CAN bus one. Yeah. So you click on view course. At the front, here's like an introduction contents pages. So exactly what's included in this booklet. If you want these editable, I can send you those in an email so you can put your college's branding on them. If you scroll down, this is all. This is the student handout. If I zoom out, you can sort of see. You can put these on your website, on your virtual learning center. You can put them on your smart board. You can print them out. You can do what you want with them, to be honest. So the front section is for the students, you know, all the learning. In the back is I'll just scroll right down. This is the instructors section. So it starts here on page 22. So this is about the course, the aims of the course, the prior knowledge that it assumes, so basic underpinning knowledge that it assumes that the students should already have. It then goes into exactly what you need, so the hardware side of things. Scrolling down further, it then breaks down into lesson plans. So here you've got 10 to 15 minutes on what is CAN bus, for example, what is an ECU, and that sort of thing. Scrolling down further, it then starts to say, okay, I think it's around here. This is about where you start to insert faults and startup routine, seeing messages sent from one end of the CAN to the other through the high and low CAN. System monitoring and pinging, and also if you'll see on the time section on the right hand side, it gives you a rough timing how long that particular lesson may last. So then scrolling further down, you've got circuit faults. This will take 10 to 30 minutes, for example, and then notes for the teachers. Worksheet 8, building your own vehicle. So this here is potentially a full lesson, 45 minutes to an hour, building your own vehicle. And then the last section here is instructor guide codes. So when you're actually plugging in and using the CAN software, these are all the codes that you might see, and this can be printed out and shown to the students so that they can see exactly what the faults are, or exactly what the ECUs are reading at any one time. This section after that shows you how to use the CAN tool. The CAN tool is a brand. It's called Kvesa. It's just a CAN analyzer, effectively. And then, yeah, this section here basically shows you how to use the CAN software. Scrolling down again, this here is something that you might want to print out. It's basically how you would build the CAN altogether. Yeah. I mean, it does actually break it down to each node as well. So you might give this particular page to a student or two students and say, you build this particular node. Then another set of students build node B, and then you come together and attach all the particular nodes in high and low CAN, and then you've got a full CAN bus.
Thanks very much.
No problem at all. Any more questions?
Hello, it's James here.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Could you send me also that editable version, please, of the books?
Yes, no problem. I will just make a note now. No problem. I will do. Where are you tuning in from, James? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm in Northern Ireland, Southeastern Regional College.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that should be an issue. Have you? I think has your college already purchased these kits? Is that right, James?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe you, Kelly, would answer that one.
You may have, James. It rings a bell, but I might be wrong. But yeah, if you want them editable, that's no problem.
I remember there was a time when we had, but at the moment where I am in this campus, we don't have anything. But those books will be a great help, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no problem at all. I will. I'll organise that for you, James. No worries.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Any more questions, guys, before we round up? No. Okay, guys. Well, lastly, I'd just like to thank you for attending the webinar. I hope you found it useful. I think it's clear that we have a good offering, particularly for automotive. If you would like any prices for any of our kits, please could you just get in touch after this email correspondence that will go out in half an hour or so with the recording on. Thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure talking to many of you, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.